What's up, guys? John here. Titan Talk Tuesday official. So in the studios, Instagram, sorry, our good production system is not working, so you guys got me with the green screen. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. And Facebook, you guys are getting the best of the best with the production value. All right. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm going to let everybody join in real quick before we start to get on the topics. Got a hell of a show lined up for you guys. We're obviously going to talk about our ECA Stack Plus. And then we're going to talk about which is therapy of the week. We'll talk about the benefits of that and all that comes with ECA Stack Plus. Plus, we're going to talk about some of the different topics today. So, one was the COVID vaccination. They're opening this up to 12 to 15-year-olds. Talk about some of that in the data. Ecstasy and Molly, that's going to be hopefully be getting used for PTSD patients. They're in clinical 3 trials for this stuff. We'll talk about that too as well. And then drinking excessive amounts of water. It can definitely be bad for you. So we'll talk about this here in a second. I appreciate you guys. So thank you. So I think everybody's coming in. All right. So before we get into this weekend is going to be a hell of a weekend. If you guys are just seeing this, New York Pro, if you guys are in the area, is going to be in Tampa this year. Again, we're going to be there in the house giving a lot of shirts away, a lot of gift bags away. So if you guys are in the area, come on through, say hi, take a picture, get some free Titan gear. The next thing is our Titan Fashion Week. So Titan Swim Week is upon us. It's going to be at Water, and it's also going to have our awesome Titan Medical Center designs. So I'm going to have like at least 10 models out there doing our thing. It should be really, really cool. And at that point, you guys will get to see some of these different things. So, without further ado, let's get into Therapy of the Week. So, Therapy of the Week is going to be our ECA Stack Plus. And people always ask me, like, what's in ECA Stack Plus? So, let's break it down. Ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. So, a lot of people have questions about ephedrine. Now, ephedrine is a banned substance per se, so you can't get this over the counter. All you can do is get this prescribed, okay? And I know a lot of people like to get Broncaid and all this other different things. With Broncaid, it's really not good because you might be getting a little bit of ephedrine in there, but you're also getting all this congestion medication that can cause nausea or stomach issues and all this bad stuff. Why not get real ephedrine HCl and combine it with caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium? So at this point, you're getting the best of the best, and you're getting it prescribed in your name, and you're getting it from a U.S. licensed pharmacy. So you know exactly what you're getting in your dose. We know you're getting true ephedrine HCl, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. So let's break it down. Ephedrine. What is ephedrine good for? So ephedrine is great for lipolysis. So it's good for fat burning. It's good for concentration, energy. Caffeine as well. So caffeine and ephedrine can synergistically work together to help give you a better result. Now, we have different doses of our ECA Stack Plus. The reason is a lot of people have different tolerances to stimulants. Some people can take a high dose of ECA Stack Plus that we offer and be no problem. Some people can't take that and they need a lower dose because if they take a higher dose, their body's not, they don't have that tolerance. And at that point, then they might get some negative side effects. And this is something you don't want to do. Big Alex, just seen Big Alex in MI4. He does training, looks awesome, 6 weeks out. Big shout out to him. Big Irishman in the house, what's going on? Optimized Ranjan, Nelson Nito, what's going on? Tudos, what's up? Gorilla Zoe, 60, what's going on? So we're talking about the Therapy of the Week if you guys are just joining in. That's ECA Stack Plus. It's one of the best fat-burning weight loss options we have. And it's an oral capsule. A lot of the different things we do are injectable, right? But this one is an oral capsule, and it's because of some of the different components in it. Like ephedrine, caffeine, B12 and chromium, that's fine. You can get an injectable. Aspirin, you're not going to do an injectable of. They do offer caffeine and ephedrine injectables. Yeah, that was a question to somebody. We don't offer that. The reason is because that can hit you too hard and you can cause some serious issues and might have to go to the emergency room. So that's not an option. But the oral capsule is very effective, and you can take it once to twice a day, depending on what the prescriber, the medical provider, prescribes to you. What's going on? Pat Castle in the house, my man. What's going on? All right, Real Conan in the house. What's going on? How you guys doing? All right, so with ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium, like I said, it's one of our best weight loss options, fat burning options. It's also going to give you laser focus. It's going to help you concentrate a lot better, right? You're going to be with it, snap into it. I'm very, very productive, obviously, and with this, I have to give a little kudos to my ECA Stack Plus. That's what I take every day. I take it in the morning. That gets me through my whole day, my workouts. I don't have to take pre-workouts or any other caffeine drinks or Starbucks or anything like that. And, you don't want to take that stuff either. That was another thing. So I'm doing a Titan transformation with Sean King. You guys can look him up. He's on my story, I think, today, and he's like Health is Wealth. He's 346 pounds. Now, this guy is a former NFL quarterback for the Tampa Bay Bucks is where he used to play, right? Quarterbacks usually lean, mean, ready to go. Now, after he's retired, life got comfortable, training, family, and all that, a little bit of liquor here or there, and he's gained a lot of weight. So the big thing was we want to get him transformed. He's going to go through a Titan transformation, and we're documenting all this. And one of the ones for him is ECA Stack Plus. The thing about it is I always ask people, I'm like, listen, what do you take in every day? Like, what is your go-to for energy? Because some people have natural energy when they wake up. Some people need a boost. And there might be other reasons underlining that they need that boost to help them. But, some people, they take a little bit of caffeine, or they drink coffee, or the Starbucks, or Monsters, or Bangs, or whatever it may be. And then you look at the contents in some of these different things, and you're putting a lot of stuff in your body that you don't need, and can cause, a slow down effect for whatever you're trying to do, as far as weight loss especially. When we're taking in like sugary drinks and stuff like that, that's not good for weight loss, okay? We don't want to take in a lot of sugar, processed foods, or processed products at that point, and garbage that is not going to help you. So that's where you really want to X out some of these different things. And that's where ECA Stack Plus can really step in and be very effective for what you're trying to do. And like I said, even if you're sitting in a chair all day, it's going to help raise core temperature. So at that point, you can start losing some body weight like that. But really, it's when you are doing activity or working out where you can really utilize this therapy and expedite those results tremendously. With everybody that, whether it's a sponsored athlete or patient, this is probably one of the top therapies out there. People love the ECA Stack Plus because at that point, people want to be able to be productive. They don't want to be tired. Tired body is tired mind. Some people, they feel like they're just slowly moving along. They can't think of things clearly. The word is on the tip of their tongue, but they're just not with it. And they're like, I got to go get a shot of espresso or whatever it is to get me on point. The whole point is to have that good energy all day long and be able to, be productive in whatever it is, from your personal life to your job, right? And this can definitely help. It's helped a lot of different patients. And it's one of our most inexpensive therapies. So at that point, a lot of people ask me, like, all right, so what's the cost? And the cost for ECA Stack Plus, it usually starts at $90 a month, right? And that's for one pill a day. And that's our high dose. Now, we have a lower dose, and we do have a higher dose on top of that. So this is really where it comes to be personalized. When you go through your medical consultation with the provider, they're going to ask you some of these different questions, like your tolerance to stimulants or what you take in daily. And some of these questions that we ask are going to give us the answers that we need to provide you the best possible regimen to get you guys the results. And that's another thing about Titan Medical Center. We're here to personalize regimens for you guys. No cookie cutter garbage, right? Like I said, some things work for the masses. Now, we can help you guys out anywhere in the country with our services and our therapies. So if you guys want to take advantage of our ECA Stack Plus or blood testing or hormone replacement therapy or Hercules Potion or any of these other therapies that I talk about, It's real simple and easy to do. All you got to do is call or text us, 727-389-3220, and we will walk you through the steps of what you need. It's a real simple process to do. With ECA Stack Plus, you also don't need to do any blood work. It's a common misconception out there from some people. Some people come up to me like, I know I got to get my blood work done first, and then I can do it. No, you don't have to do your blood work for ECA Stack Plus. The only blood work that you guys need to do is for hormone replacement therapy, or if you want to check your levels or see how your things are going on the inside, which I implore you to do. You should definitely be checking these things out, whether you're on HRT, not on HRT, feel good, don't feel good, so you guys can monitor everything that's going on inside your body, making sure that you're healthy. I would do this every 6 months, at least once a year, if you're not doing it already, okay? And that's just a really good tip, man. I mean, a lot of people ask me, like, how long in between should I do blood work? And I just always say 3 to 6 months, unless there's a problem. If there's a problem with what you're on and your regimen and stuff like that, I would start checking things immediately, what you need to do. That way you can check, see, and if you need to dial something in or tweak some things, you can do that. It's not hard. It's really simple to do. So that's just some of the different things. Yes, tear is crazy. So all provided for now. I still have a soreness and redness around the area. A little feels overstretched at times. Injuries do suck. First injury ever in 3.5 years. Yeah, so right now I have a slap tear, and I've been using BPC 157, TB 500, and it's been getting me through, guys, 100%. Right? What up, Hulk Squad? What's going on? Houston's SLV. What's going on? Boogem 69. What's up? So, with that, I'll tell you what, cortisone's a hell of a drug. All right. So cortisone has definitely got me by, but you can't take cortisone forever. And cortisone can start doing some other different effects in there that you don't want, right? So at that point, I'm probably going to have to get surgery here very shortly. So I'm looking into that. I'm going to get another MRI done because I already had one MRI that showed me I had a slap tear. So at that point, when I do this other MRI, I'll see, hey, listen, it's more damaged. Maybe it got a little bit more repaired. I don't know. I know that it's not 100%. But at least I'm in there and being able to train. That's one big thing, right? Because without that, without me training, I'm so used to it that it almost causes me to get upset, frustrated, and almost depressed. Because it's been such a big part of my life, my whole life. Even, before, really lifting hard, I was an athlete the whole time. And at that point, I'm always been in the mode of, hey, listen, I need to be active. I like training. I like doing work with my body. I like developing my body even more. So for me, if I can't do that, it's taking away one big thing that I love to do. So at that point, you want to make sure you stay as healthy as possible. And, weight gain has been a big thing for a lot of people out there. So the average person gained 29 pounds with COVID-19 in the COVID-19 pandemic, which we're still kind of going through, I guess, but it's coming back, thank God, to some sort of normalcy. But at that point, people want to get this weight off and they want to feel better. And we know that the more weight you are carrying, the more likely it is that you're going to have things happen to you that, as far as your body breaking down or different disease possibly, like diabetes. I know a lot of patients, that have went overweight and been overweight for quite some time, and that can affect sugar levels and kind of what they're eating too as well. And some of these people are type 2 diabetics now. And they always ask me, how do I bring my hemoglobin A1C down without medication? Diet and exercise. That's the first two things a doctor is going to tell you right away. And it's like common sense, right? If your body is not where it's supposed to be and it's out of whack, other things are going to happen to it. So you want to start bringing your body back in line to where it needs to be. And that's being physically active, giving yourself a good nutritional diet, at that point, and setting yourself up for success instead of failure, okay? Because if you just keep going the way that you're doing, you're probably going to end up not so good, okay? Big shout out. Sharonica, what's going on? Billy Cole. Marcia, what's going on? Dilbert, what's up? All right, so Big Irish with the ECA Stack Plus, affordable and Titan's best fat burner, amazing stuff. It definitely is. A mix with Hercules Potion, you got probably the best pre-workout scenario you're going to get without any of the garbage in there. So you're going to have nice, good, clean energy. You're going to get good pumps, recovery. immune system boosting, liver, like all these different things with those combinations. So if I had to pick two, as far as the therapies for workout, that would probably be the two, because I'm going to get a lot of energy. I'm going to get focused. I'm going to have fat burning, and I got Hercules Potion. Going to give me my pump. It's going to, do a lot of different things as far as longer, strenuous exercising, because the anti-fatigue amino acid of ornithine in there, lysine boosting immune system, proline as far as a collagen-based amino acid to help lubricate those joint areas and stuff like that. L-carnitine again for weight loss and all these different things. So really mixing ECA Stack Plus, and you can stack a lot of these different therapies that we have together, whether it's Titan Complete, Hercules Potion, and ECA Stack Plus, which is the Titan trifecta, which is awesome. What's going on, Stacy? How you doing? Christian, what's up, man? How you doing? Straight Addicts in the house. All right, so Hawk Squad says 73 days since injury. Used the BPC 157 and TB 500. I'm healed completely and back to squatting and deadlifting. That's awesome. For sure, 100%. That is great. I love to hear that, man. And, it's great that you're back in there and being able to do this. Some people, they have these injuries and sometimes they don't get healed properly and they go back and it just doesn't do too good. I wonder if aggressive therapies from Titan in combination with chiro massage therapy could put off surgery for a bit, at least for someone. So it really is. So definitely, some of the therapies have put off surgery for me for over a year or something now. At that point, it's because I'm like, man, I can't be down right now. I cannot be down. I got too much stuff going on. I don't want to walk around in a sling for, 6 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever they want me to do. So if I do go ahead with the surgery, which I'm probably going to do because, I want to be back to 100%. It just sucks. It sucks knowing that I have the injury, sleeping on my shoulders, which I like to do. I can't do that without feeling the pain the next day. So it really sucks. And I'm going to hate going through surgery for another reason. I'm going to have to sleep on my back. Now, I don't know if you guys sleep on your back, your sides, your stomach. People sleep in different ways, right? But I hate sleeping on my back. And let me tell you why. When, what is this? 2016? I broke my clavicle in a motorcycle accident on my right side, right? So my shoulder is in. It's like this, the bone. Instead of like this, it's on top of each other, and that's how it mends. That sucks right away. So at that point, I had to sleep on my back because they don't do anything for you. When you have a broken clavicle, and not a compound fracture, but a broken clavicle that doesn't break through the skin. That's what compound means. So with that point, when you have that, they don't have like a cast they put on you. They don't put a plate in you. All they have is this thing, and it goes around your shoulders. And what it does, they have to tighten it back. You have something that tightens it in back, and it brings back your shoulders. So your shoulders don't lean forward and heal like this. They actually go back and heal like that. So, it helps your posture, which I had great posture already. But you got to sleep on your back. And I'm telling you, man, I don't get comfortable with that. It sucks. I don't know if you guys like sleeping on your back or your sides, but man, for me, it sucks. Renan, what's going on? Along came OG Skim Milk. John Santos, what's going on? All right, so Joey Knapp, 78, what's going on, guys? If you guys have any questions about our ECA Stack Plus or any of our different type medical center therapies, like hormone replacement or whatever it is, go ahead and shoot it out. We'll talk about it. I'll try to answer your questions live for you guys. So that's the ECA Stack Plus. Ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. And I often get the question, what's the dose in these two medications? So low dose, 12.5 milligrams of ephedrine, real ephedrine HCl, 100 milligrams of caffeine. You got 30 milligrams of aspirin, 1,000 micrograms of B12, and 1,000 micrograms of chromium. So ephedrine and caffeine are going to work synergistically, going to help. They're stimulants. They're going to help with energy, focus, concentration, and fat burning. Aspirin, it's only 30 milligrams. Now, some people are allergic to aspirin. Here's the answer to your question. We can take out the aspirin in your ECA Stack Plus. So we make it an EC Stack Plus instead of an ECA. So the aspirin would come out. But if you're not allergic to aspirin, it's 30 milligrams. That's less than double the dose than a baby aspirin. So you can take this every day and be okay. It's going to thin the blood out just a little bit. Going to give nice smooth, no heart palpitations, no jitters, no anxiety. That's what a lot of people talk to me about when I talk about fat burners. Because a lot of people, have took fat burners over the counter. This is not a GNC or big box over the counter fat burner. This is prescribed. And then the next question I get is it like phentermine? Phentermine, no. It's definitely not like phentermine. And I'll discuss phentermine with you guys. So phentermine is like a methamphetamine type, right? It's an appetite suppressant. It's an FDA-approved appetite suppressant. It's used by a lot of cookie-cutter weight loss clinics with a B12 shot. A MIC B12 shot and phentermine. So what phentermine does? Phentermine is supposed to decrease your appetite so that you can eat littler portions and pick better food sources. Now, a lot of people, they don't really do this. They take it, they might get a little jittery at first, like, oh yeah. And then they're starting to eat the exact same. What happens is you start building up a tolerance to phentermine, and it doesn't work as good as it used to. And then you start like using it as a crutch, basically. The other bad thing about phentermine is it can cause nervous system damage, cardiovascular problems and issues. This is why you got to get an EKG to even go on it. Or you should have by the medical provider. If you didn't, they're not doing their due diligence on what they should be. And you should really worry about that. Instead of saying, I talked to my neighbor last night, and he's like, you want to always talk to me about tight medical center therapies. And I came home last night, and they were outside, and him and his cousin were like, hey, and I always get the questions. I'm like, I never turn anybody down. I always like to talk to people, see what they're doing. If they have questions about what we do, I like to answer it. I'm very open to people, even in the gym. I was just in there like a couple minutes ago. I'm training. I have my earphones on. Somebody comes up and taps me on the shoulder because they see Titan on me. They know who I am, and they want to ask me a question. I still won't push them away. Even though I'm in my set, and that can be annoying to a certain extent. I'm there to answer the questions to help them out. But he asked me about phentermine, and he's like, I've been on a year. I'm really not getting results anymore, and I just take it because if I don't take it, I'll probably be 300 pounds. And I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, this is definitely not the best thing for you. So I started breaking it down, kind of discussing, ECA Stack Plus and some of these other ones like AOD and stuff, and maybe some different, different things that he might not have known about, and that will definitely help him a lot better in his journey, what he's trying to accomplish. So at that point, I'm not a phentermine guy. We don't like to prescribe it here at all. It's not supposed to be prescribed for people that are underneath a BMI of 30, and at that point, a lot of people don't fit that bill. So it's not really something that we like to do here at Titan Medical Center. And like I said, if you're really looking for something that's going to create a fat-burning effect and better energy and focus, that's where the ECA Stack Plus comes into play. Chromium B12. So chromium B12 are going to definitely help along with the ephedrine and the caffeine to help you guys get a better weight loss effect, better energy, nervous system helping, a lot of different things. So at that point, that's where we combined it. ECAs have been around as far as that combination for a long time, especially in the fitness industry. They were used quite a bit. That's why when we created this, we wanted to make it better. That's where the ECA Stack Plus came into play with the B12 and the chromium, adding to the aiding weight loss effect that you're trying to get. Okay? What's going on? Michael Vonk, A. Park, Dwayne Day, my dude, what's going on? Daddy Shock, the alarm advisor, Jared Tobin. So many people swear by the ECA Stack. It blows Clint away from many, many interviews I've done. Yeah, so clenbuterol is another one. It's not prescribed. It can cause a lot of damaging effects in the nervous system too. And that's something you build up a tolerance to. And anybody that's taking clenbuterol, it makes you feel like you're a pinball in a pinball machine. You don't want to feel like that. You shouldn't feel like that. When you take an ECA Stack Plus, you're not going to feel like that. You don't want to feel like that. That's not a good feeling. That's not how you should feel. It should be nice, clean energy. Focus. Good to go. But you're not. You shouldn't be like that. That's not a good effect. So people that think that they need to feel like that or it's not working, that's definitely not a way to go. And you'll feel when ECA Stack Plus starts working. Not to say you won't feel it kick in, but you definitely won't feel like that. Alexandra Leon, what's going on? All right, so let's get to some of these questions real quick. Big Boss, what's the shelf life on BPC 157 TB500? Okay, so once you dilute it, Big Irishman, once you dilute it, listen, there's a BUD data on those medications, but once you dilute it, by good practice standards, it should be 28 days. That's what they say. But usually, degrading a medication-wise, usually 60 to 90 days tops. And when you're taking BPC 157 and TB 500, once you dilute it, right? Once you reconstitute it, you should want to use the medication within that time frame. You shouldn't be drawing it out unless you're using a preventative. Take it a little bit less. You can take it over time periods. But if you're really trying to heal injuries, the more aggressive usually, the better. I think Deke can vouch for that. When we talked about his shoulder injury and his surgery that he got over, Hulk squat him the same way too. He was very aggressive on it. All right, the 3 levels of IGF-1 you have available. The strongest IGF-1 you have, how long does it take to see results? So IGF-1R3 is a therapy that we use here. I had a patient, post about it today, so I wanted to put it on the social media too as well. She's dealing with a lot of pain and issues, had other problems. I know she used BPC 157, got some good results with that. But she stepped it up to IGF-1 because she wanted to do some different things. So the 3 different levels of IGF-1 is just dosages, right? So we have different dosages. You can be more aggressive, you can take more dose, less of a dose, and that's where those really break down. IGF-1, to see results, you're pretty much going to see results, I would say, the first month at least, for sure. As far as what you're trying to do with it. So, a couple things you can do with it. There's one, a weight loss effect, an overall effect, and that's when you take subcutaneously. Some people want to build more leaner muscle tissue, and they spot inject. You can utilize that too as well. It's going to increase pump factor for sure. So that's really where it is. So hold out loss. So you'll see results pretty quick with it. Definitely with the patient that I posted on social media. I checked that out. It was the last post, but she's only been taking a little bit, and she's already you usually see pretty good results, and the feeling too. You start feeling a little better. It's not like an ECA Stack Plus where you feel like like that, but you'll definitely start seeing the results, and it'll definitely help in the gym too as well with your lifting and everything like that. So IGF-1 is awesome. I think it's the best thing out there as far as, maybe CJC within Perellin's a pretty good one, but, if I had to pick between like growth hormone and IGF-1, I'm probably going to pick IGF-1. The reason is because when you take growth hormone, growth hormone has to go into effect, and then at that point it goes down to the liver. And then from the liver, that's when it converts into IGF-1. And IGF-1 is what you get all the benefits from growth hormone from. So people really focus growth hormone, growth hormone, growth hormone. But it's really what it converts into the body, which gives you all those positive benefits and effects. Okay? And that's where IGF-1 comes into play. So I always tell people, I said, think about this. If we start a race, okay, and we're racing, and I start the finish line, and I take IGF-1, I'm going straight from the finish line, the starting line to the finish line. Just like that, okay? I'm missing all these different steps I have to do, and I'm going straight there. With growth hormone or anything else, like CJC, even MK, and MK is an awesome one. These are awesome therapies, all of them. But when I start and I take it, and then at that point I produce more growth hormone, then I have to go down to the liver, and then it converts. So at that point, you're missing all these different steps in between and going straight to the finish line for the result. That's why I like it. Now, you can only take it for so long. You take it for so long, and then you can build up a sensitivity to it in your body. So you're going to want to only take this for 30 days, 60 days tops, get off for a month, and then you can go right back on. Now, in that time lapse, you can substitute like CJC or MK, or you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But if you want to keep going, you can start, I hate the word cycle, but you can cycle through these different therapies and get great results and keep going and keep the body so it's guessing and moving like it should. Okay? So that's IGF-1, insulin growth factor 1. That's what IGF-1 stands for. A lot of people ask me that. I had the question about it on that post, as a matter of fact. Good question. All right, hey, Big Boss John, what's the shelf life? Already said that. ECA Stack with Prometheus. Dwayne Day, that's a really good one too. So, Prometheus is another great weight loss therapy that we combined for our patients. You're not going to see Prometheus anywhere else. And that's got Wellbutrin, metformin, and B12. Great for mood enhancing. You're going to cut cravings. You're also going to be able to dispose of glucose in the body, that's sugar, because you don't want sugar to stay in the body. You don't want high sugar levels. Sugar will then deposit into fat and stored. You don't want that. Other things, high sugar in the blood will actually deteriorate cells in the body or start breaking down things. That's why you see diabetics, they can lose limbs, they can lose eyes, I'm telling you, toes. I've seen it firsthand. I had a friend back home. He was diabetic. He started going really crazy. At that point, the doctors told him, hey, listen, you got to start changing these things. And he just didn't listen. He kept smoking. He kept just, eating all this garbage. And at that point, did not, start a healthy lifestyle, didn't want to be active, just chill. At that point, he started losing things. And he even lost one of his eyes, okay? He's dead now from this, okay? So, this happened, it had to happen at least 12, 13 years ago. It was before Sharice. It was like 12, 13 years ago back home. So, it's really sad, because diabetes, right, and high blood pressure are both silent killers. And they don't work fast. And that's the thing. Usually people, they're like, all right, I'm okay. I feel okay. I'm all right. But over time, this is when the problems happen. And that's really what you got to watch out for. And that's why you really want to be preventative about things. You don't want these things to happen. That's why you got to take it upon yourself to do these things. You're not doing it for anybody else except for yourself, okay? And being around is going to help you. It's going to help your family or your loved ones or whoever's close to you, and they're not going to have to be, worrying about you and stuff like that. So please, guys, at that point, that's where Prometheus comes into play. ECA Stack good for women too. Absolutely. All of our therapies are good for girls and guys. All right? So don't get a misconception that, like some of these therapies are just for guys and some of these therapies are just for girls. No. We all have the exact same hormones in the body, just at different levels. Okay? So those need to be in balance and check and optimize if needed. Right? All these different therapies we have, both girls and guys, they benefit from the exact same ways. And that's really what it's about. Like, I get the question all the time. I have one in the inbox right now that I got to answer on Instagram. I was looking at it before the show. A girl's like, hey, my husband comes to you for hormone replacement therapy. I'm having some problems here. I'm starting to get some of these postmenopausal symptoms. Do you guys help women too? Yes, of course. We help women. We help men. Everybody wants to feel good, look good, and perform better, right? Nobody wants to feel like garbage. Nobody wants to feel tired all the time. Nobody wants to feel sick all the time. Depressed. Like, people want to feel good. Like, there's nobody out there that says, I want to be depressed. I don't want no energy. I want my libido to suck. I hate doing things. Like, this is my life. That's not true. And some people get stuck in a rut and they don't know how to get out of the rut or what's even a matter. And sometimes they'll go to their doctors and they'll be like, hey, listen, doc, I get this all the time. I don't feel so good anymore. Libido hasn't been, concentration's not there. Like, I'm getting these, like, all these wrinkles prematurely, and I just don't know what is going on. And that's when the doctor's like, hey, listen, like, here's some antidepressants, here's some ED medication, and, the wrinkles, all this stuff, this is you just getting old, man. So this is you just aging. That's what it is. But that's not a good way for a medical provider to treat their patients. They should want to help them. And there are ways. The problem is the normal general practitioner doesn't deal with a lot of these things that we deal with. They deal with, hey, listen, something's broke, let's fix it. Instead of being preventative about things and want to make sure that we're keeping up on things. Everything's good, right? We're checking these things too as well. So that's what it is.
Good comments, John. Good comments.
All right. Who else we got in here? Hell yeah. Talk about AOD 9604. I definitely will. I heard I got one of my guys in here, though.
Yes.
Flex Wheeler in the house. If you guys don't know who Flex Wheeler is, you guys look him up. This guy's a legend in bodybuilding and fitness, right? He's got his own trials and tribulations that he has went through. And, it shows how strong you have to be mentally as well as physically. So big shout out to Flex Wheeler out there, man. He's a good dude. I want to give him a special shout out because, man, he motivates more people than I could ever think of, especially right now. So at that point, he's a big motivator for me and a lot of other people out there. Just to see some people have to go through these situations and come out and just be so mentally strong and be able to do it. And wake up every day and do it, you know? And that motivates a hell of a lot of other people. All right. So let's talk about AOD 9604 because Alarm Advisor asked me. And I want to answer all your guys' questions out there and give you guys some background on it. So with AOD 9604, it's Advanced Obesity Drug 9604. Okay, so this is a peptide. This is a weight loss peptide. And this is a really great peptide, right? And basically with AOD 9604, they basically isolate the sequence of growth hormone specifically for weight loss, right? So with growth hormone, when you take growth hormone, you know, there's other things that could happen. This could raise sugar levels, right? And some people can turn diabetic just from taking a lot of growth hormone, believe it or not. So this is one thing that you will not have to worry about. You won't have to worry about suppressing your pituitary and shutting down your natural growth hormone levels as well. And it works well. It works well for very obese people or very not obese people that want to, you know, there's some people that want to tighten up. Love that word. And you know, they want to lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds, but they're not obese, right? But they've maybe gained some weight in some areas and they want to do better. And that's really where AOD comes into play. This is something you're going to take every day. It's an injectable. You take subcutaneously. We also have an oral form of AOD 9604 that we do combine some other medications with too as well to try to expedite that weight loss effect for you. So it's a really great weight loss peptide. Now listen, I'll go over more of this when we cover as the therapy of the week. But if there's any more questions or you think you really want to know about it, just let me know. But that's kind of what the breakdown is, okay? Now listen, anything that we do, you guys can always call or text 727-389-3220. Our staff will be happy to go over any of these therapies with you. And obviously, if you're in your medical consultation with our medical providers, they're very educated about all these different therapies and peptides especially, and can give you guys a great breakdown of this. All right. So, I mean, you know, it basically regulates fat metabolism, no adverse side effects. You know, it stimulates lipolysis. It's the breakdown, destruction of fat, and inhibits lipogenesis, which is the transformation of non-fat materials in the body fat. So at that point, you guys will see this, and like I said, it's not going to raise IGF-1 levels because it doesn't have that portion like growth hormone, so you don't have to even worry about that, and it's very safe. It has GRAS status, generally recognized as safe. That's what GRAS stands for. So at that point, it's got a really good safety profile too as well. Okay? All right. I appreciate you guys. If you're on SIP and HCG, do you need to clean out with Clomid? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Iron Q. So let's talk about that. Really good question. So if we're taking testosterone, right? We're replacing testosterone. We're optimizing it. We got that set, right? Now, you're possibly going to want to take or look at your estradiol number to make sure you don't need an estrogen blocker, and most patients really do. Yes, so I'll get to Flex's question 1 second. He asked if we have anything for pain. Now, with this Flex, real quick, and then I'll go back to IQ. With that Flex, you know, if it's pain, we might want to start looking, depending on what kind of pain, like BPC 157 and TB 500, if we can start, you know, doing that, we possibly might help out in those areas.
Where's the pain?
Yeah, where's the pain? I think I know where his pain's at. So just let me know, Flex, where you're talking about, because I don't want to assume. Just tell me, and then I'll kind of go over that too as well. All right, so Iron Q. So if you're on SIP and HCG, okay, one thing I think you're missing there or possibly might need is an estrogen blocker. You might want to look at that. You don't want estrogen to go too high, and it's going to convert. So testosterone, we know, it's going to aromatize. Testosterone aromatizes, and other hormones aromatize into other hormones. So testosterone aromatizes into estradiol, all right, specifically, or estrogen. And at that point, it also aromatizes to DHT, which is dihydrotestosterone. And you want to make sure that everything's in harmonic balance. These things, you don't want to always take one, just shoot it through the roof. You don't want to overcompensate in those areas, or bad things can happen, or it's not going to be optimal for you. But the next thing, HCG. The reason we're taking HCG, or you're taking HCG, is for gonadal support. What do I mean by that? Your testes. So your testicles create your testosterone in your body, right? They also create semen. So semen production, testosterone production. Now, when we take HCG, the reason that we take HCG here as HRT patient at Titan Medical Center is you have some sort of function when you come to us. So it's even your baseline, even if it's at 98, right? We want to keep that natural function going per se. So there's a signal that goes from your brain down to your testicles. And when you inject testosterone, put a cream in, you put an oral sublingual, pellet, whatever it may be, your brain recognizes that. Your body recognizes, hey, listen, we're getting this outside source of testosterone. So the signal from the brain to the testicles, your brain says, hey, listen, we don't need you guys to work no more. It shuts off the signal completely. That's where testicles go through atrophy. That's where the myth of you can't get girls pregnant or you become infertile as you take testosterone, that is 100% false, okay? You can still get people pregnant even if you have low semen production and you're on testosterone, okay? So don't let that be your contraceptive per se, because there are guys like that, oh, I'm on testosterone, man, I ain't going to get no girls pregnant. Okay. I'm telling you, trust me, I know this. You know, I had little Peter when I was on testosterone. I know for a fact. But back to the HCG. So the reason we take HCG is to mimic the signal from the brain to the testicles and creating the false signal. So basically keeping it on. So you don't have low semen production. You're not getting atrophy in the testicles, shrinkage. And you're getting a lot more benefit from it. So that's why you're taking it. Clomid. So usually, you know, there's some doctors out there, they'll either put you on HCG or they'll probably put you on possible Clomid because it can create the exact same effect, right? But with Clomid, it's one or the other, HCG or Clomid. If you're taking two, you don't need to. There's no reason for it, and it's not going to clear out your system at all. You know, if you were going to get off testosterone, yes, you could take HCG or you could take Clomid and try to bring back natural function. But at that point, it's not going to help clear anything out. It's not going to benefit you in any way, shape, or form. And, you know, with Clomid, you know, if you look up some of the negative side effects with Clomid, it can cause dark thoughts, depression thoughts, and stuff like that. You know, that's one thing. Now, I've tried all these different therapy protocols, you know, because I want to see. I want to say, like, you know, and I had the provider. I'm like, listen, let's do this. I'm the guinea pig. I'm the lab rat for you guys. I want to make sure. So even with me, like, it created those thoughts. Like, it does not feel good. And, you know, we put patients on it, you know, that, you know, if, let's say, they're a younger guy and their levels are really, really tanked. We don't want to put a 21-year-old on testosterone. That's not good business, okay? So at that point, if they're in the younger 20s and stuff like that, we try to boost their natural function. And, you know, Clomid can show good numbers, but people don't feel good. And that's the point. Like, we want to make sure the patients feel good too, along with correlating with the numbers. So those things go hand in hand. So Clomid for you, man, I would exit out, take testosterone, ACG if you can do that. Look at an estrogen blocker. Look at least your estradiol numbers so you know where it's at. Be educated about what you're doing and the medications you're taking. That's the biggest thing. All right. You're welcome, A Park. All right. Guy at work was asking about my HRT. I told him I go through Titan Medical. Their panels is primary care physician per insurance. They're making him get 3 sets of blood work in 3 months. So that's the problem. That's the other thing. So people come at me all the time like, hey, listen, do you guys take insurance? No, we don't, unfortunately. The reason why, because I will always tell you guys what's up. The reason we don't take insurance is because insurance restricts the medical provider on what they can prescribe and what lab tests they can run. Now, even if your doctor says, oh, I'm going to run these lab tests on you, I don't care, I'm going to write them all up. They got to produce a diagnosis code. That means the reason why, and they give that to the insurance company. And the insurance company then says, you know what, I don't think he needs this. No, we're not going to do this. And then they back bill it to you, and they charge you full price. That's one thing. The other thing is this, even for blood panels, even if it usually good insurance, your deductible or copay on that blood work is usually higher than what we charge for the full panel. So you might as well do that. The other reason is that if it was per se low testosterone, What they want to do, insurance companies or primary cares, is they want you to take 2 to 3 blood tests. And at that point, on those blood tests, you have to come back clinically deficient. Not lower end, bottom of the barrel. Clinically deficient. What does that mean? So, for example, on LabCorp, a total testosterone range is between 264 and 916. That's a pretty big range. Now, if you come back at 264 or above, you're normal. You might be on the bottom end, but you're normal. So at that point, they're not going to prescribe you testosterone, okay? That's going to be a whole nother problem. And at that point, if they do, God bless you. You know, take advantage of it. Then, an estrogen blocker you have to worry about, because if you take testosterone, you don't want gynecomastia. You don't want to gain a whole bunch of weight with fat deposits or water retention and look like a big, like, tomato, because that's what it is. That's where, like, juice heads come into play. You know, people would be taking these things. They don't look healthy. You know, they look big, but they don't look healthy. So that's the other thing. So you want to make sure. So that's the thing about going through primary care. And they're not looking at a lot of the other tests that we're doing, like progesterone or IGF-1 levels, you know, or estradiol levels. They're looking at just testosterone. And at that point, if they don't get what they see, you know, as far as deficiency or clinically deficient, then at that point, insurance company is probably not going to cover it. A physician's probably not going to write for it. So that's the problem. And a lot of people, they go through this. They go through the hoops. I've had patients, you know, like they swear by it, like, oh, no, my physician, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And they go through all these hoops. And literally probably 6 months, a year later, they come back like, man, you know, I'm going to sign up. I'm done with this. I'm done, like, wasting all my time. Because think about it. It's not going to be as easy as, like, through Titan Medical Center, where we can send you for a blood test anywhere in the country. You just walk in with a slip. We got the results in 3 days. We call you up. We get you scheduled. You probably get prescribed in a week if you're there. With them, you're going to have to go in, or maybe they'll do a telemedicine visit with you. I don't know. You have to get the prescription for the blood work, go in and get the blood work, which you would do with us, right? But then you got to schedule another appointment, pay another copay to get the blood work results, and then read the results. And then at that point, oh, you got to do it a second or third time. Well, you're going to go through that again and again. And at that point, man, it's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm telling you, man. So I deal with this all the time. 9.5 years I've been doing this, and I've heard every story in the book. So that's just a little background information behind the scenes for you guys. All right, so let me see what else we got here. All right. Javier M, what's going on? Holden Outlaw. Yeah, man, Flex is on here. Knowledge is power. Flex is definitely. Saber Media, what's going on, bro? How you doing? We might be bringing Saber Media in to do some videos for us. All right. So, yes, we definitely got that. Crazy Hawk 2.0, what's up, bro? All right. DM Orantes, what's up? From California here. Do you think these therapies work with intermittent fasting lifestyle? Of course. Of course. You know, if you really want to do intermittent fasting, I've done this too. So I like intermittent fasting. ECA Stack Plus, you know, I mean, every therapy is going to work along with intermittent fasting that we do. If you want to expedite weight loss, though, take that ECA Stack Plus, do your intermittent fasting, man. Go in that calorie deficit, and you'll be golden, dude. Golden. So I'm going to have some new shirts and stuff like that coming out for you guys. All right. Chi-Town Jim, what's up? Toner, my man. Oh, yes, yes. When I release a Titan Talk replay later on tonight, it'll be with graphics. Yeah, art, big man. Lady Hawk, what's going on? Steve-O. So basically this works online because I live in New York and I'm really interested. Yes. So we provide telemedicine online to almost all 50 states. So we can set you up with blood work. You're going to see the medical provider through Skype or FaceTime. Plus, we're here for your support almost 24/7. Call, text, email by a live person. There's no mass text messages that go out here. Every time somebody texts you, it's a real person. And we've got thousands and thousands of patients around the country. We're here a long time because we have patients on the West Coast too as well. So at that point, listen, even on the weekends, me and Sharice have the phone. There's an issue, problem, concern. We got you. Plus, you have medical providers here all the time. There's a lot of places out there where they don't have medical providers there. You're talking to some Joe Schmo about what you should be taking, or he's reading over your blood work. listen, man, they might have some knowledge about some of this stuff, but they're not medical providers like me. Like, I'm not going to get on one of your medical consults and tell you guys, you should be taking this. You're clinically deficient in this. Now, listen, I could look at some blog and be like, oh, this might not look good, but we need to put you in front of the medical provider because they're the ones that have, the medical experience. They're certified medical providers, and that's what they're supposed to be doing. Not some Joe Schmo on the street that's a HRT consultant. I hate that word. What do you who made HRT consultants? I just don't understand that. All right. Flex, we definitely got some stuff, I think. Cost of consult with doctor. So medical provider consult is it depends. If it's a weight loss visit, it's $75. If it's a hormone replacement therapy visit, it's $150 every 6 months. So that means if you do the consult initially, it's $150. Now that's going to cover you for 6 months. So if there's a problem, concern, and we need to put you on with a medical provider on another FaceTime or Skype, or he needs or she needs to get on the phone with you, it's free. We're not going to charge you for that. I want to make sure everybody knows it out there. It's like we're very transparent with the pricing, and I want to make sure that you guys know. Phantom pain, I thought so. So this is a pretty common thing, with people that have something amputated, they get phantom pain. And I think Flex is going through this right now, neuropathy. So with this in his leg. So at this point, BPC 157 and TB 500 could take away some of that issue. I don't know if it will for sure. But hey, listen, I'm willing to give it a round and try with you, man. And you can tell me if it works or not. At that point, I hate to say it, nerve blockers might work. I'm going to get some more information, Flex, on that for you. I'm going to definitely help you. I keep hearing that CBD or even THC would help. So THC might be it might be a good option for you. A lot of people, you're smoking weed. No, listen, medical marijuana has done wonders. It has true medical validity, as far as using it. So at that point, this could help. It might be able to take away some of that, some of the issues that you're having. I know a lot of people out there, and I have nerve damage, right, Flex? But I'm not even putting myself in your scenario or case. So what I did was I had biingual hernia surgery. So I had, on both sides, I had tears, okay? And what they did was they went in and they put mesh on both sides. And this has got to be 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I had to put in. Now, had the surgery done, and at that point, what happened? This mesh, it healed, but then it infringed and healed with nerves. So I have nerve damage basically in those areas. Like and this might be too much information for you guys, but I'll get like shooting pains like down into my testicle and groin region at times out of nowhere. Like, it's not when I'm stretching or anything. Like, it just, bow. And I'm like, oh man. So that's where medical marijuana can kind of help there too as well. It can kind of relax some of the issues possibly, or, help you. So it might be worth a try. Listen, anything that'll work for that, it's definitely worth a try. I would try, I would definitely like to see, maybe some BPC as far as, or some TB in there, just to see, because it's helped a lot of different things. So that might be a good one for sure. J Cat, what's going on? White Ram, how you doing? Those are the unregulated, which means they have untrue doses of them unless prescribed from a pharmacy. Yeah, so you have to do it from a pharmacy for sure, but that's not an issue. I do the sip and Ashtal and ACG. So IRQ, that's definitely what you want to stick with, man. You don't need to put Clomid in there, especially if you're taking those three. I might not have any more of these tank tops. So that was another question I got today. Like people ask me all the time, like, man, like, where do you get all this stuff? I'm like, listen, I do it just like anybody else. I'm a regular person. I go on Nike. I look at some cool stuff. I'm like, man, I'm putting Titan on that. I'll go to some shops, and I'm like, man, I'll just look through stuff. I'm like, man, I need to get, because my thing is I want to do the best in everything, right? I want first-class therapies, first-class patient experiences, and then I want our Titan gear to be first-class, like in every way, shape, or form. Because I wear it every day. You're not going to ever see me out of Titan gear, usually. Even when I go out, I got a Titan V-neck that's real nice. Tommy John, I got embroidered. Because that's what I do. I live the brand. I am the brand. I want to be the example for people out there. Plus, I got all my great athletes, brand ambassadors out there, and our patients and supporters. I love for them to be able to, be proud of wearing the Titan name. But not only that, having something quality put on. There's a lot of people out there that, in promoting their selves or brands, stuff like that, they go with the cheapest $3 t-shirt you could possibly get. It's hard, it's starchy, it doesn't fit good, it shrinks when you wash it, and you're like, yeah, man, well, I got 1,000 of these for, like $10. Like, great, man. Like, I wouldn't wear it. I don't want to wear that. Why would I want to give that to one of my patients, athletes, whoever wants to wear it? Because at that point, like, it's gonna suck. So that's what I do. So at that point, and I'm creating some really, really cool custom stuff coming. I got a lot more Nike stuff coming, guys, but I got a lot of other cool Titan gear out there that'll be listed on the website very shortly. So you guys are gonna love some of the stuff that I'm coming out with, I promise. All right, Lady Hawk, what's going on? The big high five there, or you got a question? I don't know. All right, so will you take recent lab results? We do have to get new ones. All right, so I just had a CBC, BMP, and estrogen levels. My doc wouldn't check my testosterone levels, though. So we'll take those tests. And if you have all the tests that we need, like our panel, if they're within 60 days, listen, man, we'll happily take those tests. But if it's, if you only have a couple tests, listen, it's better just to do the full panel. We'll check all those things, plus testosterone, progesterone, IGF-1, and all those other things. So it might be best to do that. But we can just charge you for the labs that you don't have on there too as well, okay?
We gotta wrap up, John.
I gotta do it. Does AOD help build muscle? So AOD is really about losing body fat. There's other things that will help build muscle. Yeah. All right. How concerned about pricing when it's all about your health? Yep. I mean, health is everything, man. I mean, health is, you can't put a price on health, and you should be your biggest investment, all right? But guys, I'm sorry, the hour is already done. It goes by real quick. So I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you, Big Flex Wheeler, for tuning in. I'll be calling you later, bro. We're trying to bring Flex down a little bit. We're trying to have him part of Titan in some way, shape, or form. I've had, awesome conversations with Flex. Like I said, it's a hell of a dude. I got mad respect for the guy. He motivates and helps a lot of different people out there. Just got to see what can work. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. So, guys, if you guys want to know more information about Titan Medical Center, check out the website, titanmedicalcenter.com. You guys can always call or text 727-389-3220 and talk to one of our staff members who are all medical staff members. And at that point, if you want to know more, tune in to Titan Lifestyle with me and Big Drew on Friday at 2 p.m. or every Tuesday, Titan Talk Tuesday with me, 6 p.m. I'll see you guys next week. I appreciate you guys. Much love, much respect. And guys, stay tight and strong. I'll see you guys next week. Later, guys.